For April 28th to order, if you'll please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Almighty God, who gives us the gift of life and the gift of eternal life, let us always be mindful of the privileges we have in serving our citizens, their families, and our community. May we have the heart filled with compassion, bringing understanding and comfort to all we meet. May we demonstrate excellence in everything we do. May we honor the human dignity of every person we encounter. May we seek justice for the poor and the underserved. May we hold dear the sacredness of everyone at all stages of life, and may our service be for you, your honor and glory. Ground us in these values as we minister to the people, so that through us they may see the face of your love. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everyone. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lingo, Mrs. Moody,
Here.
Mr. Carson,
Here.
Ms. Peterson,
Here.
Mr. Redding,
Here.
Mrs. Dosa,
Here.
Mr. George.
Here.
Okay, Miss Lingo is not here. She is ill this evening. Somebody like to excuse Miss Lingo?
Make a motion to excuse Miss Lingo.
Mr. George has made a motion to excuse. Do I have a second?
I second.
Ms. Dosa has seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. You have the minutes from our April 21st meeting in front of you. If you'll please take a look at those, and if there's any corrections,
One on page 3,
page
down by
3.
finances, under Bill Kocher's report, it says going to have to decisions on a month-to-month basis, so I figured it should say going to have to make decisions on a month-to-month basis. Insert the word make to the second two.
You're adding the word make?
Yes, after the
Okay.
second two.
Any others?
Under Resolution 20-1141, I'm not sure, refresh my memory, when it says, the second sentence, it says levy questions to the Hamilton County Auditor. I don't know, were we going to ask questions to the Hamilton County Auditor, or?
That's what the resolution was for, to send the levy questions to the auditor.
Oh, okay. So it's a period after services, and then, okay, all right, okay.
Anything else, council?
Under committee and reports, Business Partnership Alliance under Judy Pearson, there have not been. Should it be there has not been?
Where's that?
Under committee reports, Business Partnership and Alliance under Judy Peterson, it says there have not been. Should it be there has not been any Mount Healthy Business Association meetings due to COVID-19?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you could put that in. It's just saying there have not been Mount Healthy Business Association meetings. So if you won't put any in there, that's fine.
Where is that at we're reading?
Page 2.
Page 2, very
Top of the
top
page.
sentence.
Very top. Under business, under my report.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are
Write
we
it.
correcting?
After been, you're adding any.
Okay.
Or it could say there has not been any Mount Healthy Business Associated meetings due to COVID-19. Just seems like it doesn't flow.
So we're leaving any in there or what?
That's what I marked in. with
Okay.
any.
Yep.
Okay. And just other little typo under We Thrive. And there have not been. Been is in there twice, so if you take out the first been, B-E-E-N, have not been any recent meetings.
Okay, removing the first bin.
I just don't like the way that's.
And then third paragraph down from there, Trinity Lutheran Church is currently.
Changing R to is.
And then just one other that I found, under new business, Mr. George made a motion to extend the state of emergency to be in effect until, take out the word "the,"
Okay.
until December 31st, 2020.
Is that it, council?
Yep.
You have a motion to adopt as corrected?
Make a motion to adopt the minutes as corrected.
Okay, Mr. George has made a motion to adopt.
I'll second.
Mr. Parsons has seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. I have no correspondence. Does anybody else have any to bring forward? No guest or special events. Bill, do we have any public input? Take a moment here.
Take a
to
moment here, yeah, to let it
to
catch
see.
up.
I did while we're waiting. I did have a couple residents contact me just through city email asking if the city was going to be doing COVID testing, coronavirus testing, and that is not something we do or we're capable of. I responded to them. You know, we do contract with Hamilton County Public Health, but they don't even do that at this point. They're recommending people call their doctor if they feel like they have the symptoms. The doctor will tell them whether or not to come in or to go to the hospital, and that's where the tests are recommended and taken. So just want to get that on the record, because I have had a few people ask me that question.
Yeah, we're sure not qualified to administer those tests.
I just received a text from Kim. She doesn't know how to ask the questions.
It says that there's a chat box off to the side.
Okay, I'll say something to her. Okay. But she said much better tonight, so. she's
Yeah, it
just
looks, yeah,
She's
very,
asking how to ask questions. I just texted
Okay.
that to her, so I don't know whether she'll be asking one.
okay.
How long do we give them?
Yeah, I
mean,
think-
I don't know.
We're, you know, well beyond, I put a message out there asking for any public input, and we're caught up now on the thing, so I
Okay.
think we can move forward.
All right, well, we can always drop back if somebody does chat
Sure.
in. Okay, moving on to the mayor's report, Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, just one thing. I found a discrepancy on the Hamilton County Public Health website regarding how many cases are in our zip code. They have a map and you can scroll over zip codes. And when you go to 45231, it says there are 105 cases. Then there's a separate link to the cases by zip code that's updated every Wednesday. And that has been consistently at 10 cases for the past 3 weeks, showing no increase. And that is what I've been receiving in emails and what I've been sharing with the public through social media and on Nextdoor. So I did send an email. I didn't know who at Public Health to contact, but we have a contact through We Thrive, because We Thrive is through Hamilton County Public Health. So I did contact Kim through Public Health and ask her who to address the question to. So I didn't get the response yet. I just sent it today. So I'm hoping to get that answer, because I want to make sure that we're putting correct information out there. Both I and the city's Facebook page have both shared the link to the list that shows we've only had 10.
That's a
So-
huge discrepancy.
That's a big discrepancy, and I do wonder if maybe nursing home data is excluded from the zip code list. Because I was just trying to break down, it does break down by age group and race and gender, and it wasn't perfect, but it did seem that that could be the discrepancy, but I'm just guessing there. So I am, I'm sure I'll hear back tomorrow, and I will post the correct information once we get it.
Okay. That's it, Mayor?
That's it. Yep.
Cool.
You'll post that on city website, or?
I will, I'll post it on my mayor Facebook page and the city Facebook page, and then I will share it with Ray and Alex to distribute, whether it's on the website or wherever they think they should.
Okay, questions for the mayor? Okay, moving on then. City Manager's Report, Mr. Kocher.
Yeah, not much tonight, just you know, we'll start to think through how, you know, we'll try to reopen up here again at City Hall. I know on Monday, a lot of the offices are. I think currently, I was talking to Melanie today, I mean, we're operating pretty well. You know, I think there's not a lot of traffic. We do have somebody here every day. But especially once we start to get in later in May and in the 1st of June and in tax season, you know, we'll come back into play in the middle of June. We definitely want to be up and going. And so I'll just continue to report. I think we're going to continue to operate as we are now, but we're going to start discussing. And I still want to get in thermometers, which I haven't gotten in. And, you know, we have plenty of face masks, and hand sanitizer came in. So we're working on those kind of things, and we'll keep you up to speed. And let us know if there's people not getting anything, but we are still issuing permits. You know, we've had a lot of permits with the roofs and stuff with storms, and to my knowledge, all that's working fairly well. So we'll keep you posted, and try to get out there and lead by example. You know, with all as the other businesses and so forth start to open. So. And the only other thing I want to, just want to share that, you know, there's great work going back and forth between the county and us, and you know, worked with the interim public health director today on some issues we were having with notifications for our police. He was very responsive, very, very good to work with, and it's just good to see that, you know, all those things are happening. Everybody's out there trying to look out for everybody else, so it was good. So I just wanted to mention that those things are happening on a regular basis. So and that's it.
Good to hear things are working, slowly but working.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, questions?
Did you say at the last meeting, the police have gone back to their regular shifts?
Yes, they have, yes. The street department is still staggering and spreading. I believe now, especially without the pool opening, John Peters has several weeks of vacation, so I think he's just going to start to take that as he kind of you know, moves on into retirement. So John, I think, is sometime in mid-May, and he'll start taking his vacation. And then, but yeah, I look to bring everybody back, everybody, to try to, you know, once we get the things in place to keep moving forward.
Okay. Anybody else? Mr. Redding?
Have we made a decision on concerts in the park?
Well, no, just like I believe we talked last time, is we've just canceled June. Ray notified
Okay.
the people that were scheduled in June. We hadn't paid anybody, I don't believe, Melanie. We paid a deposit for the July 3rd fireworks, which we're going to, wait and see as long as we can on that, but we can apply that deposit to next year, he said. And we contacted the pool folks that we will not be opening, and we're all on the same page with that. So that's kind of where we're at. So we hope not to, we hope not to cancel anything in July, but if we do, we'll probably wait till mid-June as long as we can, before we make that call.
Okay. Thank you.
That's one thing that I would dearly miss us not having is the fireworks. I think it's it's a summer event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a shame.
yeah. Hopefully we'll see. I think May's gonna be a big month, and we get a lot more testing in. It's frustrating, I know, for a lot of people, because people want answers, and there's just too many questions still out there. So we'll hold on to it as long as we can, and hopefully we can have something.
Yes.
I think the people will need that by
Yeah,
the 3rd of July.
Yes, yes.
yes, if we can control that need. Okay, moving on, ordinances and resolutions. We have no second readings. We do have a first reading on a resolution. Resolution 20-1908. A resolution declaring it necessary to levy a tax in excess of the 10 mil limitations and declaring an emergency. Questions or comments, council? This was the big one we've been talking about for a while.
All right, this is the second step of the process. First step was we passed the ordinance at the last meeting. I notified, got that information to the county. They were very responsive, got the information back to me, then we were able to put this together for tonight's meeting. I probably will have to deliver it tomorrow or the next day down to the Board of Elections to make sure we're all in line with August.
So you need a second reading passed.
Yes.
You don't want to do 2 readings?
Well, we can. I was going to bring that up to council tonight. If we really even, if we want to take a second reading, we can. But do we really even need another meeting? I mean, that, it would be 3 weeks in a row. And I know, I appreciate everything ICRC's done, and I'm sure they'll be here if we need it. But typically, the first Monday isn't, when we're scheduled. It's totally your guys' call, your guys' meeting. If we want to be here, we can be here. I don't see much other. I've talked with Scott. He does have the tax budget prepared that we need to pass by July 20th. His plan is to have a public hearing on the 19th of May and do the first reading, and then have the second reading in our meeting in June, assuming if we go into the, I told him, remember that we have typically go into summer session in June. But it's totally up to you guys.
Response, council? I guess we got really 2 things on the table right now, the resolution and whether we pass it tonight or come back next week and pass it.
I thought it was important for the public to comment, but they've known for a couple months that we were going for 12.9 mils. And we're not really getting much comment anyway. So if we wanted to suspend the 2 reading rule and go ahead and pass it tonight, that would be okay.
Like I said, I'll be here next Tuesday. It's totally up to you. It's pretty thin this week, and I just can't imagine a lot more coming up. And just kind of as a nod to, I appreciate what ICRC's done back-to-back, two weeks in a row for us. I know a lot of places are wanting to do it. Obviously, we want them back, probably be in the same format in May at the second meeting. If we do decide to go into summer schedule, hopefully by maybe June, we can get maybe back to some normal, maybe not. We don't know yet. We'll make that call. So.
Well, I'd like to see us pass it this evening, but that's just my feelings. That's up to council.
And with the last resolution last time, they're aware that we were presenting this just to get the information that we were going ahead with it. So they did have kind of notice ahead of time.
Yes, I don't think we're trying to pull anything on anybody. It's simply getting to the point where the citizens can have their say at the voting booth.
Right.
I'm fine with passing it tonight.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I am fine with suspending the second reading rule
Okay.
and passing it tonight.
Mr. George?
I'm fine as well.
Okay.
I don't have any objections on passing it tonight. Everyone else is okay with that?
Let me just make the motion.
Yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion to suspend the 2 reading rule.
Okay, Ms. Peterson has made a motion to suspend the 2 reading rule. Do I have a second? Mr. George? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lingo, Mrs. Moody,
Aye.
Mr. Parsons,
Aye.
Ms. Peterson,
Aye.
Mr. Redding,
Aye.
Ms. Dosa,
Aye.
Mr. George.
Aye.
Okay, by a vote of 6-0, two reading rule has been suspended. Any other discussion, questions on this?
I'll just chime in here since this is all kind of new format. There's a Mr. Ken Cobb who is watching the meeting, and he asked me if is the 10 mil levy a permanent or a renewable levy, and I'm going to respond to him. It is a permanent levy. I said we discussed this in depth back in January, February, and determined this was the best course to take. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah?
I would also,
Did he say 10 mil levy?
yes.
He
I
did.
would
Oh,
let,
yes.
I would let him know it's 12.9.
Yeah.
Yep.
With the right amount.
That was the only way to get to that dollar number.
I thought it was interesting that we were looking to raise $958,000, and this is $967,000, so it's about $9,000 more than we anticipated or budgeted. So it's
And I think
pretty
that's-
close.
Yeah, it is, and it's a little bit of positive news too, right? Because they're currently reevaluating and look at the valuations, and I think that was a big driver behind it.
Last year, I think it was between 72 and 73,000 per mil, and now it's 75,000 per mil.
Little positive note.
Yes.
Now we need a motion to adopt, correct?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion
There's-
to adopt resolution number 20-1908.
Okay, Ms. Dosa has made a motion to adopt resolution. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. George has seconded. Roll call when you're ready.
Mrs. Lingo, Mrs. Moody,
Aye.
Mr. Carson.
Aye.
Ms. Peterson,
Aye.
Mr. Redding,
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa,
Aye.
Mr. George.
Aye.
Okay, by a vote of 6-0, resolution number 20-1908 is adopted.
No other response, and thanks for correcting me on that 10. I'm trying to do a lot of different things at once, and that 10 mil went right past me, so.
That's what we
and Ken-
talked about in January and February, and then we
Yeah,
decided on.
Ken responded, thank you, and I agree and support all the way, so there we go.
Melanie, this,
Our one person in attendance.
yeah.
No, there's a few there's other people
other
watching, I
people,
can
yeah.
see that they're watching, so it's
Yeah.
great. Sorry.
Melanie, this page 3 of 3, where you make a statement about the record of proceedings, is that something that we need to discuss, or are you just letting us know you're doing it?
That's just something for me.
Okay. That's fine. I understood and have no problem with it, of course. Okay. That is all of our ordinances and resolutions. Move on to old business. Mr. Parsons.
In connection with this ordinance, or resolution, whichever it is, resolution, when we find out how many other jurisdictions have levies, I think we may want to revisit it if we're talking like $40,000 to do this or something.
Okay.
We should get an estimate or a bill like a week or two after this is filed. Is that
Okay.
correct?
I'm gonna call them tomorrow and make sure I've got everything before I drive down there to drop it off, but I'll have that conversation as to when, first of all, I'll ask them, will you notify me if somebody else files, so that at least we'll know, right? And then kind of get a timing on it, so.
And a timing on when we would have to withdraw it if we decide to.
Okay, sure.
This is going to be, I think it's going to be a mail vote, by mail, by U.S. mail, or I don't think they're going to have the polling places open in August. They're even talking about November being all U.S. mail as well. So we'll have to see about that.
Okay,
I've been concerned a little bit about the hit our economy's taken and personal economics of our residences and so forth, that this is going to be a little harder to swallow, I think, with the state of the economy. A little worried about that.
Yep.
That's my other comment. We're going to have to start getting our ideas together for how we're going to educate the public. Door hangers, I don't know if we'll be able to do public meetings. We could do meetings like this, I guess,
Absolutely.
in
Yep.
June and July, so we can, but we have to get the word out there. Hopefully, maybe the mayor can write a letter if we have a mailing list or something. I know we haven't had very good luck with mailing lists. Can we get a mailing list from the Board of Elections for the people that are registered to vote?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's available.
I mean, an
Absolutely.
electronic,
yeah. Those are downloadable, actually.
that's just an idea I came
I
to
think
me
that
over
would
the.
only include like the last person that voted. It wouldn't be, you know what I mean? If you didn't vote, they're probably not on the list, but
Include anyone's registered.
would it include registered? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it has to be better than, what we did before, but.
Wasn't there a problem in the past about them cleaning up the list, though? There were
Yeah.
so many people that had now lived in town for years that were still on the list.
We've had all I mean, we
I
just
mean,
know so.
I'm just saying, years ago, when we
No.
relied on those lists, we found that we were really,
Right,
Right.
we've run into that problem, but we've also recently, we ran into, you know, if we try to use a tax document, but if the person was retired,
right,
then they weren't on it, you know. You just do so in free, everything's done by email and different things nowadays. It's just to have a good constant email list that you're kind of,
I know.
because it went back in the day when you had those, you just constantly were updating it, right? And it really isn't done, but the list of at least the registered voters, you know, is probably a good.
That might be the best list. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I did it, the last mailing went out to tax filers, income tax filers, yeah. and that-
Rita's list, yeah.
And that excluded people that are retired on, you know, SSI. If we just went to property owners, that wouldn't include people that live there.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the best list.
Right. But you know, and to your point there definitely is scary economic times, but at the same time, we may have a lot of good momentum because, you know, the first responders are the ones that have stayed,
Yes.
gone to work, and it just shows how important it is to have those folks, you know, so, I mean, you know, that can be definitely part of our conversation, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to what people can, you know, to be able to
Yes.
afford, so.
Trying to look up the date when that's due. It should be
When what is due?
the
Next Wednesday, the
the
6th.
6th, okay, yeah.
May
you're right.
6th.
So they should know by close, end of day, or May 7th, how many issues are on the ballot.
Yeah.
And then I'll find out when we can pull it back, and hopefully our meeting is on the 19th. If we don't do it, well, this would be after our Tuesday meeting anyway. If we have our 19th meeting, hopefully, no, we will have our 19th meeting. Hopefully, we'll have time after that to let them know so we can at least discuss it at our next council meeting.
I believe last year, our first payment was due May 22nd or something. It was a little later in May.
Okay,
So if that's still the timing, then we could talk about it on the 19th. yeah.
great.
Anything else on that, council? Any other old business? New business? No new business?
What do we want to determine whether we want to have a meeting or not? Or do we decide that? Because I'm doing about three
Well,
different things.
I think we passed the resolution on that, but we really
But
haven't.
I think we ought to probably make a motion
Yes,
to.
I agree, yes, yeah. So, new business brought up, whether we're gonna have a meeting next Tuesday, or whether we're gonna wait till is it the 19th?
That'd be the next meeting after that, would be
Yeah.
the 19th.
Right.
If we have nothing.
Don't be shy,
nothing to-
council.
Yeah,
You guys think?
we're not gonna have anything more to discuss
think we
unless
should
something
be-
comes up.
Unless something big comes up, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Right. You know, if something big comes up, I mean, we could try to work with it, and we could schedule another two, you know, we could
The
do.
next Tuesday,
We could do the 12th
After.
if we needed to, and then into the 19th, but,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just speaking, I just can't imagine that, I mean, you saw the agenda tonight, and again, I don't mind it, but, yeah, maybe we could just leave it like that,
Yeah.
cancel the 5th, and then if needed, I'll work with the ICRC to see if they're available, and we
Yes.
could try a meeting on the 12th, but we'll be sure for the 19th.
Right.
Let me,
Ms. Moody?
I just want to ask something, the next meeting, if we don't, not that this is anything crucial to whether we meet next week or not, but usually around the beginning of May, we usually start planting flowers. Are we going to be buying flowers this year, or
We,
the plant uptown?
I mean, it's a few $100, right? I mean,
Well, it's probably more than a few $100, but we could decide where we want to put them again.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, I think that, I've communicated it, that's I guess a good question as to whether is this something essential or not. I think it can be, and I think it's gonna be driven by cost. If it's more than, we could definitely, you could work on that, and then on the 19th, we could decide, hey, this is what, and I can work with you, and we can figure out the pots or whatever we need to do. But we come back and say, hey, this is what it is. Is this something we want to spend money on or not? Or
Well, they probably need to be planted around the 12th. Well, I mean, we could wait, I guess, later in May, but maybe what we do is see exactly what amount was spent last year and maybe try to strategically place pots and, maybe we could work with the business association too.
Sure.
But I'm wondering, I don't know how crucial, it seems to me that when we got the soil and the plants, I thought it was more than a couple $100, but.
okay, well,
Should we just check with that and?
we bought them all from the same Land Tech right last
Yeah,
year,
we
right?
bought them from Land Tech.
And do you think we bought maybe some additional soil? Greg might probably have done that for the plants, maybe?
Yeah, and he had to buy a couple of pots.
Pots, all
We
right.
got a couple criticisms on those pots at the Four Corners, that they weren't very big and
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
But, we could maybe strategically plan. Unfortunately, we don't know what businesses are gonna be open and what aren't.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to me we should at least strategically plant something gives hope that,
Sure. Right, I think, sure.
okay.
So
maybe
we'll-
I'll just work.
we can work between
Okay,
now
we
and
can
then
see
and
what-
kind of figure
yeah.
out where we are on money. Sure.
Last year, Kim and Mary helped plant,
Mhm.
and so we can get that done, and we can work with Greg, so,
Okay.
okay,
Was
Great.
last year when Home Depot did it, or was that 2 years
It was
ago?
2 years
That was
ago.
2 years ago, okay.
yeah.
They provided all the plants.
Last
and-
year it was, last year the city bought the plants, and Kim and Mary and I went around and planted them.
Gotcha.
And then we asked what businesses would want them, and would they take care, they would have to water, we would set it all up, so
Right.
we can work that out, okay.
Right. And I'll just share this, because I just got another note, I think it must be coming from Tim or somebody at ICRC that's watching this, is that in order for people to make comments, you have to sign in to your Google account.
Oh, okay.
That might have been Kim's problem.
Right.
So if people are watching this at a later date, just remember, if they're watching on that meeting night, sign in to your YouTube account through your Google account, and it should work, so.
Okay, Kim did text me, can you bring up about the businesses during new business? There's been conversation about, supporting the businesses, and if there anything that we could do in order to show them, we don't have money to give them, obviously, but is there something we could do, especially some of the new businesses that just opened up? I mean, some of them are still, the floral shop, from what I heard, is doing online ordering and so there was some talk about, could we put a banner up or some kind of a sign like they did in Springfield Township saying, please, these are our businesses that are open, or is there anything else we could do? I don't know. I guess they're wanting some kind of direction, or if anybody's got any ideas on how to help the business that are open now, to kind of put that message out there. And
Can we put a list of all the businesses that are open on the main Mount Healthy website page and on the Facebook page
Right,
and on social
right.
media?
yeah, and
And then-
Alex did reach out to Kim about that, to post that, and then we can reshare it.
And then maybe another, I'm sorry, Jen.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then maybe another suggestion is, I've seen this happening with other areas, is that they have certain days that you support those businesses. So like on Mondays, go to the coffee shop and support them, because Monday is that day, and, Angelo's is Tuesday, or whatever. So maybe certain days of the week, it could be special days just to support that business.
Yeah, I mean, Alex I know she started on this, and I'll definitely follow up with her tomorrow and have her reach out to Kim, because we're
Betty
gonna need
also-
good direction from them, and
Yeah, Betty
Yeah,
was,
I mean, the only thing I'm reluctant on the banner is that, you know, it's hard to update that, right?
Oh, I know.
You know, not that saying we couldn't do it, it could be just more generic and say, you know, don't forget your local businesses or something along those lines. But I'll have, put Alex on that, and she'll be great to work with Kim, and we'll see what we can come up with.
I mean, there has been, Kim and I talked this afternoon, since her business is embroidery, and she's been requested, I believe I'm saying this right, to do some masks. We had brainstormed that maybe she could make some masks and have embroidered on it Mount Healthy Strong, and we could sell them. And that money would go toward, in an account with the Business Association, to help support the small businesses, whether it's buying face masks, sanitizer, or whatever, when they start to open up, or they are open. That was just a brainstorm we did today. So I don't know, Kim's gonna look into that. I don't wanna put Kim on the spot now, but we were just trying to think of, I mean, you know, you've seen a lot on the news about College Hill. Well, you know, they've got a big core business. CDC plus the city of Cincinnati, and they're, you know, been on the news about what they've done in the community, and they had a lot of community support on money as far as gift cards and that to support the businesses. And, you know, it just would be, if we could do something in order to show our support, that, you know, we do care you're struggling right now. We do care that you're not open. We hope you reopen. So, yeah, maybe the step with Alex, and we can put that out there more on social media, and if anybody else has got any suggestions.
I highly recommend, and I don't want to name names of businesses, but the ones that do seem to be the most successful right now have the strongest social media presence.
They do.
And a lot of businesses that I'm actually asking, you know, where people are asking me, like, what can be done more? I'm not seeing much of a social media presence from those businesses. So I do highly encourage all the businesses
Absolutely.
right now to get engaged with their social media, with their Facebook on Nextdoor. And I make it a point that when I see a business posting something, a promotion, et cetera, on their Facebook, I then promote it.
And I take it, and I
Yes,
put it
and
on
then you do, and
WeDrive.
Mount Healthy
They're like
Events
trying to-
does, and
yeah.
and it amplifies, and thousands of people then
does,
see it.
it does.
So, and if people are posting things and they want to make sure I see it, they can share it with me, send it to me, et cetera, because there is a whole network of people managing these accounts. I know you manage We Thrive, and I think you're involved. Are you on the Mount Healthy Events as well?
No, I don't, no, I'm not.
So the homeschool group is involved in that, I'm involved in that. There are many of these pages where once one of us shares it,
Right.
it trickles up. So I do highly encourage any of the businesses to be active on social media right now, because there's not foot traffic, we know that. There's not people coming to work and then stopping at a restaurant, so we need to encourage that. That's how Little Dutch is, you know.
Right.
Like right now, Little Dutch hasn't posted yet. We don't know if they'll have delivery on Saturday, but
Right.
or not delivery, but pickup on Saturday. But they have a big enough following that the word gets out and they've been successful. So I do encourage all the businesses to do that, and I will help amplify that personally, and I'll make sure the other networks do as well.
Yeah.
And I always forward it when I see it.
Yeah,
I think part of the key factor is just knowing which ones are still doing business.
Right. And
Yeah.
how-
Getting that
Agreed.
information
Right, their
out there.
hours. I think that's what Alex was also getting information from Kim on.
that would be great.
The hours of some of the stores.
Yeah,
and,
because a lot of people don't know.
Right. Yep, I'll put her on it,
Okay.
sure, no problem.
Mayor, I'd like to make a little comment about Little Dutch.
Yeah,
He's gone out of his way. He was sending free items to the Mercy Fairfield Hospital. And he got word that they were not being shared with the evening or night shift. And he made a special effort to send fresh pastries, cookies, whatever, up to the hospital for the nurses, specifically for at night. And he's hitting all three shifts.
that's great.
And so the nurses are talking about it. I got told about it right away.
That's nice.
So,
Wonderful.
And for anyone that didn't see that, it was Aquatics Exotics. Thank you for mentioning that. Aquatics and Exotics, Little Dutch, Angelo's. I think just those three. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. Yeah, Little Dutch, Aquatics and Exotics, and Angelo's Pizza all sent stuff to Mercy Health West Hospital. and sent a cake and donuts and pizzas to them.
And when we shared that out there, there were comments from people like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, this is awesome. So it's like, oh my gosh, you know, you want to do business with, you want to make sure you appreciate what they're doing. Yeah, it's important. Social media, yeah, people look at that.
I did find out that the Chinese restaurant on Compton Road is open
Yeah.
for carryout.
I didn't know that.
And been enjoying that. Sure beats a McDonald's.
It's good to know.
Not knocking McDonald's, you're doing wonderful things too. But
But see, that is something I'm not quite sure people knew. I happened
I
to go
didn't know
by
that.
and see that. But those are things that if we can consolidate that, like through Alex and the Mount Healthy page, and then we can all share that, like on We Thrive, the mayor's page, the Mount Healthy. It
Absolutely.
makes- it
I'm
makes a
sure they
difference.
have no presence on social media.
Yeah, Fortune Express does a heck of a carry-out business.
Yes, they do.
They were closed the week before last.
2 weeks in a row, they were closed.
Yeah, they were closed 2 weeks in a row during the height of the pandemic, and, but they're since now open again. They closed for a while, and then they open, and then they closed during the peak, and now they're open again, so, yep. And I'm the same as you, Ross. I probably visit them more than I should,
Yeah.
but I keep going back because it's good, so.
It is the finest Chinese restaurant in the city of Cincinnati, Hamilton County. It really is.
It's
Anyway.
pretty good.
Anyway. Other new business, council.
Did you say that we needed to make a motion about not having a meeting next week?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you say that?
I mean, it's the council's meeting, it probably would be good if you want to. I don't think technically we have to, we'll just post it that it's no meeting, you know, next council meeting's on the 19th, the meeting, we will post it that it's canceled on the 5th, because typically we have that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Everybody agree with that?
Probably need
Yeah.
We can do an aye.
yeah.
If you'd
Yeah,
like
that's
to-
fine.
Yeah.
You'd like to make a motion, Joe?
Make a motion to reschedule or to cancel the May 5th meeting, council meeting. And the next meeting will be then on the 19th. of
May 19th. Okay, Mr. Redding has made a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Mr. George has seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. May 5th council meeting has been canceled. We will meet May 19th, right here at council chambers. Any other new business, council? Where's Denise? Get Denise to call in.
I make a motion to, how does she say it?
Adjourn.
Adjourn.
Ms. Moody has made a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Dosa has seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion is carried. Meeting is adjourned.